Daisy Thomas, good to see you,
Daisy.
Top of the morning to you.
Yes,
Have a look at
yeah.
these fresh faces.
I
Everyone
know.
fresh off holidays.
Yeah.
Me coming in after 2 weeks of school holidays.
That's fun, isn't it?
Oh, it's the
School holidays.
best.
Great to have the kids around.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
How was your last couple of weeks? What have you been up to? Obviously, the footy.
Well, a lot of the football,
Yeah.
and last week especially, just parenting quite a lot. Went into the arcades in Crown Casino.
Did you?
Yeah, which was a really poor decision. Just a horrible life decision.
Just packed.
It was packed, and the little kids there, they've got it sorted. We played those skill tester claw
I
machines
love a
bit.
claw machine.
And
Still.
as soon as you pick up a toy and it sort of moves it a little bit closer to the edge where it's inevitably going to fall in the next couple of tries, they swarm. The
Yeah.
kids
They
swarm to
spot
try and put their little coins down, and it's it's weird. So
Whoever invented the skill tester was a genius.
very, very smart. So I kicked a few kids out the way.
Good.
We won 3 toys, and
Nice.
Tilly was happy.
I've used a skill tester over the holidays that if you missed the teddy, it then sent you to the one next door, and it was a scooper for lollies.
So you win-win.
Win-win. You can't lose. I mean, you can, and you do. That's Crown.
That is correct.
Just mucking around, having a bit of fun. Pay your taxes, I guess, is the point there. Separate conversation.
It certainly is. And after, obviously, we played some of the arcade games, went through and just punched about 20 grand and laundered some money. So it's a good round.
Mate, it's always fun to launder money. That'll never go out of style while ever there's organised crime. Let's talk about the big one. Let's talk about the big one, West Coast North tonight. Where are they even
I've been
playing
in here
that?
for 45 seconds and we've got very off track.
Where is West Coast North?
I'm pretty sure it's over at Optus Stadium.
Over in the WA.
Yes, and I'm not sure if you probably wouldn't have actually. You were away on holiday, so I'll forgive you for not listening. I've tipped North Melbourne in this one.
Have you?
I think the West Coast are going so poorly. And North last week against the Western Bulldogs were pretty good. Although they didn't win, they had a lot of scoring shots late. All the key indicators, contested possession, clearances. North were really good. So if they can produce that again tonight, which is the issue, I guess, with North Melbourne, I give them a red-hot crack.
Because West Coast had a shocker against someone.
90-plus point loss to the Swans down at GMHBA Stadium.
Oh, how awful for everyone involved.
Yeah, well, there's a bit of awfulness going on, really. Friday night footy was awful.
This last one.
Yeah. Adelaide kicked 2 goals in the entire match against the Bombers.
Oh, yeah, that was terrible.
That
was
was
unwatchable.
painful.
2-9-21. Excuse me?
The Blues had kicked a goal to half-time in the game against Geelong.
Oh, it's hard to do winners and losers without doing some losers, isn't it?
Well, look, I might just clip a few people this week.
Well, it's up to you.
Yeah,
It's up to you.
We'll just see what we're feeling.
Hawthorn Freo looks like a ball's up. I mean, it's an awful round. St Kilda beat Brisbane, so that's wonderful news for the St Kilda
And
loyal supporters.
Some of the games were actually pretty entertaining. Obviously, the GWS Gold Coast game.
No one's ever said that in the history of AFL.
It's a first. GWS could have cemented their spot in the 8, and they just keep losing to sides. They lost to Hawthorn. They drew with North Melbourne, and they came out and beat Melbourne
I
to
know.
get themselves into the 8. And then last 3 minutes there, they had 5 or 6 inside 50s, a couple of shots on goals, and couldn't even score.
Oh,
So
my
that was
God.
an absolute balls up. And Richmond, well, they were 30-odd points up against the Pies, and then
What's happened to the Tigers?
Next
Let's come
minute-
back and talk about the Tigers.
let's do it.
Before we talk about AFL, did you know that Cooper Harvey played with Brent Harvey on the weekend?
Oh, I heard that on the way in listening to your good show.
Father-son.
Yes.
North Heidelberg. Got up
Yes.
over Hurstbridge.
What a game that would have been.
Do you know Brent's 43?
I would assume he's old. He's still in ripping condition,
Oh,
though. He's
my
got the big
God.
pythons. I think
Mate.
you were talking about he went in the lockdown route of I'm going to do exercise every day.
Yeah.
What a moron.
Which route did you take?
Have a look at me.
You're fine.
The I
spent
don't
a lot
like
of
life, but
time-
I'll pretend I do route.
I spent a lot of time next to the pie warmer.
Yes,
in
Uber Eats.
lockdown.
I'll try every dim sim journey in Malvern East.
Jeez, isn't Uber Eats one of the greatest things
It's a trap.
that's ever been
It is a
invented?
dead set trap, especially in a lockdown.
Oh,
When all you
yes.
do is you walk to the cupboard in the fridge and you check that 15 times and go, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
When
There's
there is.
always something
There's
on Uber
always
Eats.
something. There's always something on Uber Eats, and there's always something you can make at home if you can be bothered. You've always
Yeah.
got pasta, some sort of Napoli sauce.
Well, I have an Italian girlfriend, obviously, Forza Italia this morning,
Oh.
up at 5 o'clock running around the house. She was very excited watching the Euros. But yeah, to your
Oh,
point.
she was watching the soccer.
No, she wasn't really. But
I thought she was just up and about.
can make food out of anything.
Yeah.
I look in the fridge and go, oh, well, we better go to the shops or something. And next minute there's a soup with pasta, and I'm not sure you can have pasta in soup. But,
Of course you can.
Yeah.
You can have whatever you want
Macaroni.
to.
In Australia.
That's the
Anyway,
thing about the Italians.
we've
They
got-
love eating, sleeping, and smoking. And they're a wonderful people.
And that's just the key to life.
Mate, I tell you what, they've got the balance right, the Italians.
Yeah.
Have a big lunch and a nap.
Anyway, do we want to get to the point why I'm here today, or do you just want to
Please.
get talking cultural?
Please, Daisy, please.
The winners and looters, hit me stinger.
Oh, go with it.
Winning.
Win here and a win there.
There it
Oh,
is.
we've taken losers out
Yeah,
of
we
it,
did.
as
Yeah.
discussed.
Well, I like that.
Got it.
And look,
It's up to you if you want to do losers.
no, well, I'm not going to do a loser this week, but
Good.
I'm going to almost.
Yeah.
I'm putting Richmond there.
Oh, they're close.
See, I went out on a limb and everyone was whacking them this week after how bad they were against the Gold Coast Suns, how bad they were against St Kilda. And I thought, you know what? They're the champs. They deserve some respect. So I went out and stuck up for them on the show I do with He Shaw. It's on 7+ every Monday night. Tune there and hit the watch list.
Good plug.
Oh, was it? I didn't notice. Anywho, so I stuck up for them and, we were saying, they're the champs. They'll bounce back.
They haven't.
Well, if they don't fire against Brisbane this weekend at the MCG,
That's
Friday
a
night.
tough game.
Friday night footy,
night.
Brisbane, of course, were against the Saints as
Yeah, they
well,
were
so they
awful.
would need to respond. It's going to be a good game, but if Richmond don't fire anything, they don't look like it, I will need the loser stinger next week.
Oh, okay.
Two
We'll have
teams
it
coming off
standing
losses
by.
meeting at the G for Friday night footy.
Yeah.
Maybe Mrs. Hardwick has been the brains behind the whole operation.
Well, if you read some of the memes online, that would be the indication. But no, they're just not playing great footy. And to the Pies' credit, well done to them. We can touch on them now. They were one of the winners of the weekend. A fantastic result. Banger Harvey got his first win as an AFL coach, only 3 games in.
Good on him.
It was, I'm not sure if you saw any of the game, but it was
I have
exciting.
not seen a minute of football
Yeah.
for about 2 weeks because I can't see out my eyes when I drink that much.
That's it's rather irresponsible, but congratulations just
Thank
for
you,
living
Daisy.
your
I
best
knew
life.
you'd appreciate it.
So they were really good. They would challenge the Tigers. Looked like they were going to do what Richmond have done in the past. They sort of had that swarming pressure. They were able to score off turnover. And then the Pies hung around, and then all of a sudden in that last quarter they had 5 or 6 centre clearance wins, went down, kicked 4 or 5 goals.
Bang.
Game over. Curtain. So that was a ripper. The Swans, the young Swans, they are unbelievable. They knocked off the Doggies yesterday.
Yeah.
And they've almost, or as good as, assured themselves to play finals this year. So they're a little bit of a smoky as well. There's always someone that sort of spikes and surprises us. That is the Sydney Swans.
2,500 people at the ground, I believe.
Yeah, that's probably about 1,500 too many, I would have thought.
That was in Ballarat.
Big day in Ballarat.
Big day down there at
The
Mars
Swans are coming to
Stadium.
town.
Oh,
I'll
yes.
give it a miss. Really? What else are you doing? Nothing.
Yeah, perfect. I'll watch it on
I
television.
mean, what do you do in Ballarat on the weekend if you're not watching the AFL?
Mine gold, I think is what they still do down there.
There's a lot of prospectors out there on the weekend.
And I'm going to give a bit of love to young Jamara Ugelhagen. Played
Yes, I
his
saw
first
that.
game. And again, I really dislike how negative our media industry is, especially around young kids.
Why?
Yes.
What was the problem?
Well, they just don't really, they were trying to almost pump it up for him to fail, like
Right.
we so often do.
How did he go?
He didn't go great,
Right.
but again, he played on Dane Rampy, who's one of the great one-on-one shutdown defenders in the competition.
Yeah. And he's a kid.
Many people don't get a kick on him. So just to get out there, to get his first opportunity, to get a taste of it, well done to him. I like what I'm seeing. And just sport in general over the weekend.
God, so much.
How good was it? Ash Barty.
Ash Barty,
Dylan
phenomenal.
Alcott, unbelievable.
Dylan Alcott,
Yeah.
your mate.
Conor McGregor snapped his leg off.
I know. I couldn't even look at the photo.
That was gross.
That was revolting. And apparently the bloke heard it crack earlier in the round. I'm like, can we stop? Is there a point where you stop kicking a guy with your broken leg?
It's always funny when you sort of see that on only yesterday, and then this morning you wake up and you see a soccer player sort of get numbed over and he's rolling
And the
around
ru-
like he's
the
been
hysterics.
shot. Yes, correct. And,
Everyone hates it when you talk about the hysterics in soccer.
well, apparently it's just part of the game. As he's watching it for 4 hours and not getting a result. But well done, Italy. Go
Well
on and
done,
win that
everyone.
one. Yeah, well done to
Yeah.
everyone, and well done to you guys for making it back. It's great to see your fresh faces.
Yes.
And I look forward to seeing them all just ruined again next week after a week on the job.
Lovely to see you, Daisy.
The Marty Sheargold Show. Triple M.